You were on, was it Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Is that the name of the show?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah.
So how did that happen? And so folks, I'll put in the show notes page, but you can go Google Jeff Briggs, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you'll see him. And it's him. He's younger. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah. Got a lot more hair than I do right now.
And the host was intrigued. Like you came, like she thought you were a character.
And coming to the hot seat now is NASA scientist Jeff Briggs. Hey, nice to meet you, Jeff. I'm great. How are you? I wonder if the cameras can get a shot of your shoes.
Can we see?
Can you
maybe
see
over
those?
here?
Look at them. Can they see? Well, those are like they're gloves for your feet.
Yeah, they're like gloves for your feet.
So that's what the NASA scientists wear? They wear these little gloves on their feet?
Well, not everyone, but
no, but you. And you have a monkey on your chest?
I do. It's a snow monkey, actually.
Okay, so you're a little, how would you describe yourself?
I think quirky might be the word.
Quirky and also very, very smart. So this is the right place for you. You know the rules.
So how did that happen?
Yeah, it was really random and it happened really quickly. So this was actually before I started my PhD. Mm-hmm. So I was working at NASA for the summer, and I had about a week between when I had to move from Cleveland up to New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. So I also got my wisdom teeth out that week. Mm-hmm. And I was staying at my dad's house for the summer, and I got my wisdom teeth out. My cheeks were literally out to here. I couldn't eat for like a week. So I was basically just laying on the couch for a week in pain. I saw commercials on daytime TV for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, tryouts in downtown Cleveland. Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the show? Like, were you a fan of the show or?
No, not really.
Okay.
But it was the day before I was supposed to leave to move to New Hampshire. And I'm like, I've got nothing better to do. I'll go do that. Mm-hmm. So my strategy was really like, hey, I think I can get a lot of the trivia stuff right. But I also came prepared with sort of like a goofy outfit, as well as a bunch of interesting stories. Because I figured, okay, if you pass the test or whatever it is, like they're going to want to have people that are at least somewhat interesting. So
right, okay,
I could probably fake that. So so I had this shirt with a snow monkey in a thermal hot spring hanging out, and then I had these shoes that this was maybe a fad for like a year or something like that because it was a pretty bad idea. But they were the shoes that had like the individual toes on them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I had that get up on, pass the test, which basically it took us to the basement of this comedy club, and 100 people at a time, and you just did like a multiple choice test of a bunch of random trivia questions. And
like sitting at a desk filling in bubbles or clicking like okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally. Mm-hmm. And maybe like the top 2% of people from that they took and interviewed. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, okay, well, you'll hear from us if we want you on the show.
Okay.
And literally the first week.
Can I ask you, the interview, were you standing in front of like a group of people at a table, or were you just sitting down chit-chatting with them?
I was like standing like this in the hallway of a comedy club.
Okay.
Yeah. So his first week, I'm in Dartmouth sitting on the lawn, and I get a phone call from a New York number. And it's like, hey, this is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We're just calling to let you know that you're in the contestant pool. I'm like, well, what does that mean? They're like, well, that means we can call you at some point and tell you you're on the show.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, is there any like time frame? They're like, I think we leave people in there a couple of years, but we just kind of pick and choose as we go. And then the next day I got a call and said, hey, can you be here on Thursday?
Wow. Okay.
So, and it was Tuesday at the time. So it was a pretty quick turnaround. So I booked some hotel rooms for my family, made arrangements, had to miss my first day of class in grad school because I had to drive to New York to be in the game show. Uh-huh. But that was that.
And then like, did you crash course and watch a bunch of the show to like figure out strategies, or you just kind of go in there and wing it?
I just went in there and wing it.
And then we won't spoil it. So you actually didn't become a millionaire.
I did not become a millionaire.
Do you maybe want to? I don't think we're spoiling anything. What was the grant? What was your exit? Like, hey, did you think about that ahead of time? Like, this is how I'm going to play it, or did you just?
Yeah. Well, so what I looked at was like, what are the different levels that you can get to, and sort of walk away with guaranteed money. So the first there's 15 questions. The first 5 questions are just gimmies, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And after 5, you're locked in at $1,000. The next time you lock in after 5 more questions is $25,000. And then the next 5 gets you from 25 to $1 million. So basically, it cost me more than $1,000 to get there and get hotel rooms for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I had approximately $0 to my name at the time. So I kind of knew I had to at least make what I spent back. So yeah, so basically, I was probably a little more conservative than I would have been if I was playing with the house's money, if you will. The only thing I probably would have done different is there's one question that I used my phone a friend on that I kind of knew, but I only thought I kind of knew.
Right.
And if I would have got it wrong, I would have lost out in the whole deal.
Right.
But the question I went out on, it was the $25,000 question. If I walked away, I'd have $16,000, and I had no clue what the answer was. So I kind of used my last lifeline on that and walked away with $16,000.
And what? So remind me what the lifeline is. You called your friend, and the friend didn't know either, so you just stopped, or is that not how it works?
No, I can't remember exactly how it was. There's 3 of I had none left.
Okay.
By the time I was on this question, so one of them is you can call a friend.
Right.
One of them is the audience can do it. You can poll the audience.
Okay. And then one's
then
can you like knock out a wrong answer or something like that?
Yeah. Then one of them is like it's called a 50-50. So they take 2 of the 4 away. So you have a 50% chance of getting it.
Okay.
So by the time I got to the last, like I had literally no clue of the question.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. So they gave you a check for $16,000?
Yeah.
On the spot, or they took your address and mailed it to you later?
They took your address and mailed it to you later.
How long did you have to wait? I'm just fascinated.
I mean, it was maybe like a month, something like that.
That's not too bad. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Good.